resting right now. We're in the middle of a retreat, and she has a little bit of a cold, so she's gathering her energies. And we are surrounded by images of various historical figures, and some of them are celestial figures embodying qualities that we consider important. For example, that's Green Tara, who is an embodiment of compassion. And behind me it's actually called a field of assembly, and it's a kind of encyclopedia of virtuous qualities pictorially depicted. But the summary of it all, if I really want to make it simple, is that all of these beings, both in photographs and in statues and in pictures, embody two main qualities: compassion and wisdom. And that's what we're selling here today. We have a fire sale on. And, Buddhism is very, very vast, and this is a Buddhist center, but we offer on Sunday mornings a kind of very simple meditation. We're not asking anybody for declarations of faith. This is really open to all, including hardcore atheists, agnostics, and I don't know if you could be more hardcore than that, but or you could be a very devout Catholic, Protestant, Jew, Muslim. We welcome everyone, and really what we're doing is just allowing ourselves to come into the present, because there are a lot of both spiritual, psychological, and emotional, as well as even physical benefits to being able to slow down and come into the present. We do it less and less. We have a visiting Tibetan from France here this weekend, and he was saying he's really concerned. He said he walked into New York and he walked into the restaurant, and 3 people at the table, and they were all, and we all know this. I mean, we do it. I mean, it's not like them. I mean, that's like us. How many of us have partners, and we're, nowadays, wherever it is, whether it's the bedroom, the living room, the kitchen, whether it's be a tablet or a phone, and, we're sort of seemingly together. And he's saying, really people need to look at one another. They need to talk with one another. You need to be able to have an experience of going outside and seeing the sky and feeling the wind and looking into somebody's eyes. And these are kind of dying skills. I mean, it's kind of scary. It really is. I mean, if we think about it. So we're sort of pedaling backwards here. We're really coming into some most fundamental practices. If you need some more cushions, Robert, there are some in this bedroom. You can come around here if you want. So we're really just doing some activities to get out of our flywheel mental ruminations and allowing our bodies and our minds and our attention to become a little more settled. And in that settling, one, there are emotional and psychological benefits physical benefits. And ultimately, really that which we call spiritual reality, a kind of opening to something deeper, more meaningful, can sometimes spontaneously start emerging. I'm not sitting here suggesting or promising you're going to follow your breath or do a little chanting and you're going to walk out feeling spiritually transformed. But if we do spend some time with ourselves every day, most people find that there are qualities of life that start emerging that make life richer, more meaningful, deeper, more satisfying. And so that's what we're offering. So we do two practices. One is a simple mindfulness of the breath. And with that, we place our attention in our breathing. And then rest in the process of breath. And so it's really a very, very restful practice. We're not trying to stop our body or our mind or chatter. Thoughts may be occurring, but we're really focusing on the breathing. And that allows us to slowly find that in life we might have a few more choices in terms of slowing ourselves down, not necessarily reacting mindlessly as thoroughly as we often do. We may find we may have a few more choices in the way that we respond to things. The other thing we do is a chant, very, very simple. It's just a sound, hung, hung. It happens to be a sacred sound in Buddhism. It's considered to be a kind of fundamental spiritual sound. Hung, hung. And we just chant that. But in this situation, we're doing it as a way of focusing our attention, our breathing, our attention, and our mind. And again, it's an object of attention. We're not trying to stop if thoughts are occurring or feelings are occurring. We just let those occur. We're just allowing ourselves to come into attention with the chant. So all that being said, we'll start with mindfulness of the breathing. Allow yourself to find your breath. Pay attention to your breathing and then rest into the process of breathing. With your body somewhat straight, and if you're sitting on a chair, please have your feet, both feet squarely on the floor will help. And your hands can be either in your lap or on your legs. If you're sitting on the cushion, just try to be somewhat straight. Your chin can be a little bit tucked in. Your head in alignment with your spine as if held up by a string. Your tongue can be right where the palate meets the teeth. And your eyes are unfocused, whether they're closed or if they're a little bit open. Just allow them to be unfocused. So we begin. Just place your attention on the breathing and rest in the process of breath. And allow yourself to enjoy the process of breathing. You can continue to rest in the process of breathing. If you find it comfortable, you can move your attention down into your belly, about 2 or 3 finger widths below the navel, 2 or 3 finger widths within the skin. It's a place where in Chinese medicine it's called the Dangtian. In Japanese Buddhism it's the Hara, and Sufism it's called the Kath. In Tibetan Buddhism we call it the Do. It's a very effective place for allowing ourselves to settle into our own being. If we watch the breathing from there, just resting again in the process of breath, but having our attention settled in that area of the belly. If that works for you, If there are other places where you're feeling comfortable resting in the breathing, continue there. We'll take about a 10-minute break to allow people to socialize a bit with one another, get to know one another a bit. There are some refreshments. There's bathrooms.
Om Dawn Mountain offers traditional Buddhist teachings primarily in the Tibetan tradition in a way that is accessible to contemporary Americans. Having studied and practiced for many years under recognized Tibetan masters, and understanding that these teachings provide a way to realize the natural state of mind that embodies profound wisdom and deep love, Anne Klein and Harvey Aronson wished to share these traditions here in the United States. As a result, they established Dawn Mountain in June 1996, based on the core belief that it is possible to cultivate a better understanding of our deepest nature, which in turn facilitates new levels of mental calm and self-acceptance.
So our inspiration really comes from our love and gratitude to our own teachers. They spent so much time and care with us over many, many years.
Kaizen Rinpoche was extraordinarily compassionate. He had a terrific sense of humor, and just his ability to be present and immediate and just there. Adzon Rinpoche is extraordinarily compassionate and grounded.
And we've had extraordinary experiences with Adzon Rinpoche, whom I met in Tibet in 96. And I've had many hours of just, one-on-one conversation, a person who has tens of thousands of students to attend to. Okay, there's this wealth of cultural wisdom in Tibet. It's encoded in texts, in practices, in rituals, in art, and many people in the West are attracted to it, and yet Westerners are Westerners. We're Westerners. We're not monastics. We may dedicate our lives to practice in our heart of hearts, but we have families, we have jobs, we have all kinds of responsibilities. So how can we communicate and really experience transformation through these practices? For that, some kind of bridging is necessary. We're also a community center, nonprofit community center, which is the hub of our work extending life skills, the life skills of cultivating calm, of cultivating ease in life, of cultivating kindness.
What did you do today that you liked?
Make the glittery thing to show your anger.
And what happened when you shook up the glittery thing?
It made me feel a little bit like I wanted to meditate in peace.
And then the Research Institute is where we look at what we can provide by way of information gained through research for the interested public. So we've mentioned that our own teachings here, which are drawn from work that we've done, our own translation work, our own study, and so forth, some of these will start appearing as pamphlets for practitioners here, and some of them will become books that will be published and will be widely available to the larger public. And I am right now in the process of gathering a team to translate a text from this tradition, which he powerfully feels, and which I also have a very, very strong wish to see translated. And we hope to do more of that. We've seen people telling us how their lives have changed, how their lives are improved, the comfort, the inspiration that they feel coming to Dawn Mountain. We really are inspired to envision a way that Dawn Mountain becomes a stable beacon and place of gathering for people who wish to practice at whatever level.
I trust the teachings. I feel in the place. I feel that I am constantly fed.
And I can feel my breathing better because of the way my legs are positioned.
How long have you been sitting like that?
I learned it when I started coming here.
And it's not only been in the spiritual sense, but also in every aspect of my daily life. I feel that I'm less stressed out. I don't get as angry or as depressed as I used to.
It's good. It teaches me how to like kind of relax and be mindful and help with school and stuff like that whenever I get aggravated.
One of our projects that has come to partial fruition is that we have developed a curriculum, which is posted on our website, that is explains the open matrix of what a path, spiritual path, can be supported here at Dawn Mountain.
We've slowly become aware of the power of the media, and it is clear now that there is great interest in both our broadcasts from here, and from time to time we might be able to have broadcasts from Asia with Adzom Rinpoche or his sister Anila. Without students, there are no teachers, and without teachers, there are no students. We all dependently create one another. So we're very, very excited by the energy that is in the community. The community is alive, it is supportive, it is growing, and it really wishes to thrive, and we want to participate in that thriving in every way that we can. But we're really talking about finding a space of shared values. And if individuals share the values that we have in terms of coming to a deep appreciation of our innermost nature, then come and participate. That's the most significant thing that we can do together. Just sharing our participation is lovely and meaningful. And anything above and beyond that, by way of offering service for this community, offering financial, flows naturally. And we expect that that will just be a natural outflow for people because of that shared interest.
I ask precious three gems from deep in my pained heart. See me with compassion. I have no other hope. This dear human body, impermanence besets. Do you not fear your death, good and faithful student? The five skandhas gather and disperse who knows when. Heartily think on death, good and faithful student. Karma never deceives, so give up wrongful thoughts, engage Dharma wholly.
karazolo ma andi pung in so pa na ki lo te mendo.
I'm a little bit remiss. We have a book that we use. And we put people's names in here for whom we would like to sort of offer our well wishes, bring to mind people who have died, people who are ill. So we pass this around, and if there's anybody who you would like us to mention at the end of our meeting, please put their name in. As that's going around, does there anybody have any questions or anything they would like to share? Or anything at all? Was there some something is stirring in the a stir in the back?
I'm stuck.
So we're here for some practice, and we'll just move on with some more practice. And again, this is just a very, very simple process of resting in the breathing and then chanting, resting the mind in the chanting. Just two different ways of cultivating focused attention. The kind of understanding that attention itself has a lot of power and a lot of curative effect. Just allow yourself to place your attention on your breathing and rest in the process of breath. Om Om. Om We didn't do it at the beginning, so I'd like to do it now. The aspiration. This is just a wishing of well for others. Again, it's pretty generic. May all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. For as long as space abides, as long as the world remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pain. And we'll take a moment to let people finish writing in the book. So I'll just say we have classes on the first and third Tuesday. Right now we're talking about love and compassion and sympathetic joy. And those classes are standalone, so if you haven't been to the earlier classes, you can still come. The next class will be on the third Tuesday, will be November 18th. And then on the first Sunday of December, which I think is the 6th, we will have, Ann and I will be here for meditation, and they will have our holiday festivities, which include, we'll be offering some food for you, your friends, your family, your acquaintances. And we will have our holiday shop with amazing things to buy from all over the world. And so it's a time for us to be together, to celebrate the fact that we've survived another year, and to look forward to the holidays together, and to buy some gifts for those who are near and dear that have a little bit of a Asian Buddhist flair to them. So we welcome you to that. Also, we have our newsletter and our webpage. We have a teaching coming up in January, which will then be a preparation for a big retreat that we'll be doing in April on what are called the peaceful and wrathful deities. It's a very, very significant teaching in Tibetan Buddhist practice. It's very useful in the process of dying, for the dead. As I say, for those who are very, very new to practice with us, we'll have a retreat on Saturday. Do you not remember the day? I think it's at the end of January. Yeah, January 31st, we'll have a day-long retreat for those who are relatively new to practice to prepare for that April retreat. Is there anything else I should be announcing? Carol? Thank you so much. There are practice Tuesdays at 6:30 to 7:45. It's really a time to come and practice whatever it is you would like to practice in a communal setting, 6:30 to 7:45. And anything else we need to be announcing? Yes?
What time are the Tuesday, Thursday, the first and third Tuesday classes?
At 7 p.m. Thank you. And those are broadcast as well if you can't make it physically. Yes?
I'm doing a series of meditations on Friday mornings at 9 at the Rocco, and there are 2 left. We're gonna probably do some Tong Ren for those 2. So if you're interested in coming and you're free Friday mornings at 9, you're welcome to join us. It's been a good group of meditations.
Yeah. So did you all hear that? And Claire will be offering in January, is it? Mindfulness for everyone. So if you're interested in a basic mindfulness practice, starting, do we know when?
Monday, January 12th.
Monday, January 12th. It's a lovely class. I've only heard exquisite reviews.
And I will announce that on Wednesday, December 10th, we have a rare and special opportunity. Joseph Halfenstein, who is the director of the Menil Collection and a member here at Dawn Mountain, has offered to give Dawn Mountain friends and members and anybody you want to grab a personally guided tour of the Gandhi exhibition. And this is offered as a fundraiser for Dawn Mountain, so the suggested donation is $50 to $100, more if you can, less if you can't. But it's really, I had an opportunity to be part of one of these private tours with Joseph for just a little while, and it was unbelievable. This is an exhibit he's worked on for 15 years. It was near and dear to his heart, and you don't want to miss it if you're interested at all in these beautiful, beautiful images of nonviolence. And not just the selection of images, but some of the stories about how those images got to be hanging at the Menil right now. are really, really fun.
Yeah.
Wednesday, December 10th, at, I think we're going to meet up at 5:30.
Right, so for those at a distance, I will repeat that. Wednesday, December 10th, Joseph Helfenstein, who is the executive director of the Menil, has offered to do an autobiographical revelation of how he came to create the Gandhi exhibit at the Menil. And as Mary Scott so aptly described it, I was at that presentation that he did. So if you can imagine Monet sitting down with you in his living room and describing how and why he decided to paint his lilies in a certain way, walking through this exhibit with Joseph was essentially that. It's really listening to an artist describe the creation of his artwork, which happens in this case to be the whole exhibit. And the story of the pieces and the vision, it's actually a kind of a spiritual experience to participate with Joseph in that. So I couldn't recommend something more highly, especially if you have some resonance with Gandhi's vision of nonviolence and some interest in art. And we are doing it as a fundraiser for Dawn Mountain, so we would really appreciate it. We're asking somewhere between $50 and $100. Would be very, very beneficial to us. So it's a great time and it's a great cause. And I'm just echoing Mary Scott, but I'm doing it so that people abroad in the land can hear this. Thank you, Mary Scott, for reminding us. Okay, so today we hold in mind, along with all sentient beings, Claire for her dissertation, Jennifer Welsh, Kimmy and Gloria Luong, Qui Vo, David Bren, Gina, Eric Schultz, Rich Gianello, Roger, Ill Dog, Ed, Connie's father in the Bardo, Pruitt and Weagle family, Henderson family, Cheney, George Helland, Linda, Sean, Hale Phillips, Judy Butler and family, Helen, Brittany Redwine, Jesse, Jessica, Neen, Julie Stinker, Jackson, Porter, Carson, myself, Tessa, Mary Lou, elderly and cancer, Louise, John, Harrow, Sam, Rachel, Lungchen Luli, and the Bardo, and Dave Stevens and Bardo. So we'll just conclude with an wishing well for all beings throughout space. Thank you all so much for coming and being with us and with one another on a beautiful autumn day. Have a good one. We look forward to seeing you again. And the retreat, for those of you who are continuing online, will resume at 1:15 Central Standard Time. Your next link on the Dawn Mountain webpage is part 3.